Are Brazil in trouble? The Samba superstars, once everybody's second favourite team, are in somewhat of a transitional period. This incredible footballing country are missing some of their biggest stars for this summer's Copa America. The team are undergoing a new look and are filled with young players like Endrick and Savio. These new players, combined with the established players of the teams like Marquinhos, Vinicius Jnr. and Raphinha, reveal something about Brazil's Copa America squad that no one is noticing. Despite superstar Neymar's absence, this squad still have unbelievable potential and can take Brazil to incredible heights, beginning with the 2024 Copa America. When it comes to this competition, Brazil are not the most successful team. That honour belongs to Argentina and Uruguay, both of which have 15 titles. So, how have Brazil reached influential heights in the tournament? They had one of the craziest runs in the competition, winning 4 out of 5 Copas from 97 to 2007. That's not all. Their player Zizinho, who played in the 1940s and 50s, had the most appearances in the tournament with 34 Copa America performances and was the joint top scorer with 17 goals. So you can see why Brazil are highly rated, and it's not surprising that they have more than just World Cup success in their illustrious history. Brazil's participation in the tournament began to yield results in 1919. That year was the competition's 3rd edition, and Brazil made a name for themselves when they won it. They beat Uruguay after 120 minutes of intense end-to-end football, with their star player, Arthur Friedenreich, being the difference. Arthur scored the only goal for them to win the trophy, and that trophy would be Brazil's first international title. It would kickstart a history of Brazil in the competition, where they would end up winning it 9 times to date. It could be argued that they would have won more if the country hadn't withdrawn from the competition multiple times. They withdrew from it in 1924, then from 1926 right through to 1935. They had another absence from 1939 to 1941, then in 47 and 55. What would have been if they'd taken part in all those tournaments? Would they have won more? So, Brazil's multiple absences from the Copa America is not the only odd fact in the history of their national team. Brazil's greatest ever player, and undisputedly one of the best players to ever kick a football, never had a chance to fully express himself in this competition. Pelé never won the Copa America, despite him being the face of the golden generation of Brazil. Now, that feels a bit weird, doesn't it? The legend only ever played in the 1959 edition of the competition, and that was it. Still, he did make good use of his only appearance by scoring 8 goals in 6 matches. They were the runners-up in that edition, with Argentina getting the better of Brazil in the final. Still, Pelé's performances earned him the competition's top scorer and the MVP award. Will Vinicius Jnr., who's currently in the form of his life, top Pelé's performance in the Copa America this year? That remains to be seen, but it is clear that Vini has some pretty big boots to fill. And it's not only him who has that responsibility. Much is also expected from Rodrygo, Savio, Raphinha or Endrick to be able to produce the goods and lead the team to silverware. Can they do what even Neymar himself failed to do? They have to. Even if a certain Brazilian legend doesn't think they can, but more on this later. Brazil don't have Neymar to call upon. Their all-time top goal scorer, with 79 goals in 128 matches, including 5 Copa America goals, is currently injured. The amazing fleet-footed player left PSG for Al Hilal last summer. But after only 5 appearances for his new club, Neymar tore his anterior cruciate ligament whilst on international duties for Brazil against Uruguay. Since then, Neymar's been rehabilitating and won't be playing in the 2024 Copa America. This is obviously a big blow to the country, but could it also be a blessing? In general, I think we need multiple protagonists and not just a single protagonist. I believe that the division of responsibilities will make our team grow and improve even more, Brazil's new coach Dorival Jr. said. Brazil are a team filled with relatively new faces trying to make their names. In their friendly against England at Wembley, which they won with an Endrick goal, coach Dorival Jr. gave 5 players their debuts. Gone are the days of Thiago Silva, Casemiro and other top stars who played for some of the biggest clubs in the world, such as Real Madrid, PSG amongst others. Most of these new players, especially the midfielders, play for mid-table clubs. However, we must also add that these guys are some of the best players at those respective clubs. Does it really matter what club they play for? What matters is what they offer the team. If they are good enough, they'll play. Famously, Pelé didn't play in Europe, but starred for the national team in multiple World Cups. The point is that these players are now playing for one of the most successful footballing nations in the world, and they have to surpass the generation that come before them, and they might just do it. Not all squad members are big names, but this doesn't mean that the Brazilian squad isn't scary. Rather than playing with a big name front and centre, Brazil can rely on just about all of them. Just look at the newest boys, Endrick and Savio. Endrick is now Real Madrid bound after scoring 21 goals and producing 4 assists in all appearances for Brazilian Serie A club Palmeiras. That's a bright start to professional football for the 17-year-old centre-forward. The Los Blancos striker is off to an even better start for his country. In his first 6 games, in which he played 149 minutes only, Endrick scored 3 goals, and 2 of these goals came against 2 of the top 10 teams in the world. The first was against England and the second against Spain. What incredible potential he has. His third goal came against Mexico, maintaining the same theme as the earlier 2. The theme, of course, is that each of Endrick's goals has saved his nation from the jaws of defeat. His goal against England was what separated the 2 teams. Against Spain, he scored the equaliser, and his goal against Mexico was a last-gasp winner to make it 3-2. Endrick did that in front of over 80,000 fans at College Station in Texas. He reinforced that he can withstand the pressure of performing for the national team after getting battle-hardened with Palmeiras. With what he's shown, Brazil will rely on him to produce something for them and the Copa America. However, the burden of performance won't be on him alone, not when he's supported by the equally highly rated young left winger, Savio. Manchester City-bound Savio has had an incredible season with Girona. The electric winner has shown his ability to score and assist, but those are just 2 of his incredible skill sets. He likes to take on players like Vinicius Jnr, but unlike Vinny, who cuts inside to shoot, Savio likes to stretch the play by hugging the touchline. Speaking of Vinicius Jr., he is possibly the biggest star in Brazil right now. Off the back of a successful season with Real Madrid, where, despite being supported by top talents like Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde and Rodrygo, he was the main man. He is the face and poster boy of Los Blancos. He finished the 23-24 season with 24 goals and 11 assists in 39 appearances. A relentless season. Speaking of relentless, Rodrygo is another player who falls into this category. He doesn't carry as much responsibility for the club as Vinny, but he's shown himself to be very dependable, playing 51 games for Real Madrid in the 23-24 season with a return of 17 goals and 9 assists. Away from Madrid, Raphinha is another player who is lighting up Spain. The Brazilian has been an effective winger for Barcelona, just as midfielder Bruno Guimarães has been unplayable for Newcastle. Douglas Luiz has also been an incredible midfield presence for Aston Villa, and Lucas Paqueta gives West Ham that little bit of extra flair. He is even on Manchester City's shopping list, with reports claiming they've already agreed personal terms. However, as talented and effective as these players are for their clubs, Brazil and Barcelona legend Ronaldinho recently ripped into the squad. He called them talentless and average after they drew with the United States in a recent friendly. More drama was to follow as Raphinha hit back, claiming Ronaldinho was begging for tickets to watch the USA game live in the United States. We need encouragement and constructive criticism, not just negativity. We are working hard to bring glory back to Brazil, Raphinha said. Ronaldinho has since taken his words back, saying he wanted to motivate the team. Were his comments necessary? Whether or not you agree with him, this new Brazilian team have a hard task in front of them, and we're not just talking about this Copa America. This new generation of Brazilians have the responsibility of removing the horrors from Brazil's performances in past tournaments. Brazil won the 2019 Copa America after thrashing Peru in the final. However, when they played in 2021, they couldn't successfully defend their trophy as Argentina edged past them through a Di Maria goal. That goal gave Messi his first international trophy as they held on, with Brazil failing to find a way past Martinez in goal. Brazil then entered the 22 World Cup with their stacked squad led by the talismanic Neymar. Unfortunately, they crashed out in the competition's quarter-finals after Croatia equalised just moments before the final whistle. The nation hasn't moved on since that heartbreak, and this Copa America is the opportunity to do so. Now, the new boys have not to only win this Copa America, but also qualify for the 2026 World Cup, a feat they are currently struggling with. Can they do it? Can they put a smile on the faces of Brazilians? Let us know what you think in the comments. Whilst you're there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates.